Welcome everyone, Adam the Woo here. I'm realizing now I probably should have got a sleeve for this, because it's toasty and warm as a recording of this Tuesday, May 3rd, 2022. My friend Alex is here. We went to the baseball game last night. Today, you brought me to, because you live in this general area, you brought me to this coffee shop here. Catahoula Coffee. And after we get caffeinated, we are gonna go, so you and I have done tours together in two separate bands, and then we were in a band together every tour. So we were in the punk scene together. So we're gonna do a punk tour, which we did one 3 years ago, to some Green Day spots.
That's right.
Where else did we go? We went where Green Day recorded Dookie. We went to Gilman, which we could probably go by Gilman Street again today, 924 Gilman.
And you went to Christie Road.
I went to Christie Road, the tracks at Christie Road.
I had to go to work after.
You had to go to work after that, but today you're gonna take me by where Metallica began. Not really a punk rock band, but you know, you gotta,
they're the crossover. The crossover. Yeah,
they're the crossover? There's a fly on my hand.
Oh my god.
Got distracted. So we're gonna do Metallica, and then we're gonna go into some Berkeley punk rock. AFI got their start, asking for it, which is what I believe AFI stands for. Or a fire inside. A fire. That's true. But I think, yeah, it's kind of like Blink 182, which that's a Southern California band. You really never know what the 182 stands for or what it's supposed to refer to. And then, what else? We got Operation Ivy. Rancid.
Jawbreaker.
Jawbreakers from here?
Yeah.
Oh, they're from Chicago.
No, they're open.
Really?
Yeah.
We're not going to go to any Jawbreaker spots, are we?
We could.
Do you know of any?
I mean, we're
gonna do Metallica. we're gonna do Green Day. We're gonna go by the house where Green Day did the Longview music. I've never been there. Have you ever been there?
No.
This is a long intro.
It's good though.
Not really. I'm inviting you to join me. And Alex. Cheers. Shall we? What'd you get?
Cold brew.
Piping hot caffeinated beverage. Shall you? This is the Cerrito Theater here in El Cerrito, which stands for Little Hill. I didn't know that till you told me that.
Yeah.
There's also a Cerritos in California, or Southern California. But this is El Cerrito. So Cerrito would just be Hill, not Little Hill?
No, it would be Little Hill. So I guess this would be the Little Hill.
Okay, yeah, the Little Hill.
Cerrito is just Little Hills. Got a lot of little
Cerrito
hills.
means Little Hill. So as the story goes, Metallica met Cliff Burton. I think my voice just cracked right there. Did you hear that?
You're going through puberty.
He was like, you met Cliff Burton in Hollywood, because they were an LA band. Also, it's right next to this Phillips 76, next to the Blue House here. There's a small greenhouse. And they ended up moving up here with Burton and worked on and wrote Ride the Lightning. And what was the other one around Ride the Lightning time?
Master of Puppets.
Master of Puppets. Yes. So he said it's called the Carlson Mansion. Why is it called the Carlson Mansion?
The big house for, you know, a thrash punk band living there at the time.
Yeah. So where would they have practiced? Like in that back garage around there?
Maybe there's
because there's a two-car garage. It is pretty big for
yeah.
compared to the other houses on the street here. I could see how you'd refer to this as a mansion. Yeah, I would imagine if I was living here and I had a band, I'd probably be practicing in that back space back there.
Yeah, I'm just wondering how old that building even is back there.
So you're thinking the one in the back might be newer?
Maybe.
Because this would have been mid-80s.
Yeah.
That was like 85, 86-ish.
Well, 86 so this is like probably 83.
83, okay.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe the history's wrong, but...
Mid-80s.
Yeah, early mid-80s, yeah.
So you just picture all the fellas in here rocking out, having some wild hootenannies.
There's definitely a picture of all hanging out on the couch in the living room. You can see like...
Oh, there's a photo. We should find that photo. So there's a photo of them all sitting on the couch in the living room.
And you kind of see like the trees like out there, like, you know.
All right. going to look that photo up in a moment. No placard at all here. No plaque, no info, no historical documentation place. There is this laundry hamper that's here, and there's this cactus. What if a puppet just jumped out of here?
I'd be terrified.
Like a master of puppets? Like you could be the master of
I could be the master of puppets, but unfortunately not today.
This is pretty dang cool. This is some serious music history. I am not the biggest Metallica guy.
Yeah.
I do like their stuff, but it's definitely not one of my favorite bands. But I can appreciate the history.
Same.
Okay, I'm noticing in the photo them all sitting on the couch, basically in the living room. You can see this in the background behind out the window, and it would be the window right there behind those shrubs, behind the foliage there. They would have been sitting and looking out back across. So going across this out here, and you can see out the window right over there. There's two photos of them sitting on the couch in that window. It's a pretty sweet photo right there. Got the Maiden poster there on the wall. Got the Misfits shirt kicking. Look at Lars sitting. He's not even sitting properly. He's like a rebel. He's sitting up on the top of the top portion of the couch, blocking the window.
Call him James Dean in that one.
But if you look up out here in the back, that's that stairwell off in the distance. That's pretty dang cool. And just one block away from the Metallica mansion is this very unique liquor store called the Pick and Pack. Wow, I like the architecture of this. And this is where the band would come down and get some brewskis and some other fun beverages. You want to tell your story about the Pick and Pack and Puke?
Oh, I have a bar regular who I used to work here when he was a kid, and not kid, I guess like young man. And they would all come in here and just buy like, you know, liquor and beer from him. And I guess apparently in one of the albums they thanked the Pick and Pack by calling it the Pick and Pack and Puke.
So in the liner notes of one of the albums, they thank the Pick and Pack and Puke?
The Pick and Pack and Puke.
The Pick and Pack and Puke. That's what well, I mean, how often do I pass by this place? But if I ever pass by this place, that's what I'm gonna start calling it, because Metallica called it that.
There's a couple of locations too.
Oh, there's more than one?
There's one right by Gilman too.
There's more than one Pick and Pack and Puke?
There's one right by 924 Gilman Street as well.
Now, when I think of this area, I think of Gilman Street being the legendary venue. AFI played there, Operation Ivy played there, Rancid played there. I don't think Metallica ever played Gilman.
I don't know, maybe.
I'm gonna say Metallica never played Gilman. You're looking it up? I would imagine Metallica probably would have wanted to play Gilman, or maybe not. They don't strike me as a Gilman kind of band. Such a cool looking building. Just picture Hetfield walking in there. Walking out, or Lars walking out with a bottle.
Cliff knew that place a little before this goes too.
Oh, that's true, yeah. Cliff would have been his neighborhood. They moved up here for him. Crazy. Looks as if Heisenberg is over here waiting for the next show to happen at Gilman Street. Now I looked up to see if they were going to have a show while I was. Oh, there's another Heisenberg down at the end down there. But there were a few Heisenbergs. But right across the street here is this canning shop. Now we were here three or 4 years ago when I was in town. We stopped by here, but this is a when in Rome moment. When you're in Berkeley, you have to go by Gilman Street. I've always wanted to go to a show here. This is the CBGBs of the West Coast.
Without the alcohol.
There's no alcohol?
No.
That's why everybody goes down to the Pick and Pack and Puke.
Pick and Pack and Puke again.
All right, let's walk over there. Check out some of the stickers that are on the windows there. And I guess I also should mention that CBGB's is closed, so they can't really compare the two because this is still open.
No, there's one in the airport.
There's a CBGB's in the airport?
I think in Newark, right?
Wait, there's a venue in the airport?
No. It's just, you know, It's like your Hard Rock Cafe.
Like a Hard Rock Cafe. And then where CBGB's is in New York is now a clothing store or something weird like that.
They still have some of the old stickers and stuff up over there though.
But 924 Gilman has not been converted into a merchandise store. It still has the punk rock shows. I ought to go back in time and see Operation Ivy here, Rancid here, AFI here, some of the other bands that all played behind these walls. You know, for a while there's an AFI video that they recorded in Berkeley, and I always thought that they did the live performance part of it in here, but it was another place that closed down. I'm gonna go over there in a little bit. I'm trying to think of the name of the music video. It was the one modeled after Reservoir Dogs, where Davey was in the trunk. Yeah. It's off Answer That and Stay Fashionable. I don't want to look it up. I don't want to look it up, but I might have to.
You got a good 90s about it. Just think from memory. You gotta remember.
Think from memory. I'm not gonna stop this edit until I figure out what it is. Let's look at some of the stickers. So I'm trying to think what it would have been. It's off Answer That and Stay Fashionable, AFI. He Who Laughs Laugh. He who laughs last. That's it. I didn't want to edit it because then I knew that I would end up looking it up.
No, you gotta figure this out on your own. Like, you know.
This has the out only on it, and this is the load in door.
Yeah.
This is the load in and out door.
The stage is right there.
The stage is right here.
Yeah, right there.
This is like deja vu because we were here, you know, half a decade ago talking about this.
Did they open the door for us last time we were here?
No, I've never been in here. One day, if anyone from Gilman to 924 Gilman,
just let him in.
One day, you know, a few years from now when I come back through, we'll be in the same spot. It'll be like a deja vu moment again. I can get in there. And this is also where Billy Joe Armstrong got snuck in by Lint Armstrong, Tim Armstrong from Op Ivy.
Oh yeah.
And that is why Green Day always covers Knowledge, because he always remembered that moment. He didn't have the money to go in and pay through the front, and Tim snuck him in back here. That's why Green Day always plays Knowledge from Op Ivy.
The homies in too.
That's it, man.
Gotta get the homies in.
Look at this old flyer right here, taped to the side.
It's pasted to the side. It looks
Paste. It's like wheat pasted.
Oh yeah.
Remember the wheat? We were wheat pasting.
Oh yeah. People hated us for that.
Yeah, wheat pasting. It was. Okay, it's telling us to go.
Where'd you go?
I wonder if Jesse Pinkman's in there. All right, made it over to Berkeley Square, or should I say, what Berkeley Square, or where Berkeley Square used to be. The only thing that remains to this day is the signage here at 1333, where quite a plethora of punk shows took place. You know, pretty much everyone that played over at Gilman also played here at Berkeley Square. You know, a lot of the same bands, Op Ivy, Rancid. And as mentioned, AFI did the music video that I talked about. I did get the album wrong. I got the song title right, but I did look up the album. I was also very proud of the album, which was the first release they had on Nitro Records, which was owned at the time. Is Nitro even still a label?
I'm not even sure.
Owned by Dexter Holland from The Offspring. And fun fact, the first large, well, I think they did one or two before it when they were on the other labels, but the first big tour they ever did was with Guttermouth, a band that I joined later, and that's where I met Davey Havok on that tour a couple times on that first tour. He wouldn't remember me now. If he was walking down the road and I said hi, he'd probably just be like, hey, what's up, man?
Sam, I am.
Alex is always looking up stuff on his phone. You look up a lot of the bands that played here?
I'm a millennial, man.
You're a millennial?
I think so. The replacements played here, UK Subs, Operation Ivy, Guar.
Guar played in there?
Guar. The Minutemen. Oh, that's crazy.
So, the whole intention was me to talk about how the music video that was on, remember the VHS Cinema Beer Goggles, Cinema Beer Nuts?
Oh yeah.
They had all these bands on. That's the first time I ever saw a music video from Guttermouth, which the band we were in. After that band ended, I joined Guttermouth for a little bit. The End on 9 music video was on there, but also that AFI video. Now this is the old venue here, the Berkeley Square venue. Now I never went to a show here, so I don't know if this is the original awning and whatnot, but it could be. Yeah, Cinema Beer Goggles VHS and Cinema Beer Nuts VHS. The Nuts one is the one that the AFI video was on.
Me and my roommate will watch those things religiously, both those music videos. This is before you just go on the internet and search for music videos. I'm glad the sign's still here. You ever go to any shows here?
No, it was closed way before I moved here.
Before your time. All right, on this road, up this incline here on campus, this, I guess we could call this sorority row, where a lot of the fraternities are, is where AFI lived for many years. In fact, 3 albums were written the early years. I love the early years of AFI. Black Sails, and a couple others right up here. Got the trash cans out. They must have had some partying going on.
Yeah.
I mean, AFI doesn't live here anymore, but this, you know, the fraternities and whatnot. Also, Sing the Sorrow, Art of Drowning. Quite a few other people, not just AFI, but also singer of Tiger Army lived up here as well. There's one photograph floating around online, but it was this one right here. This is the house. 2721, no longer has the address on it, but if you search it, this is the one. Oh, it has it on there? Okay, it's on the side. In the photo, it's not on the banister though, it's kind of above the door frame. Oh, there it is, 2721. There's Davey on the bottom step right there. And everyone else, that's quite the cavalcade of...
Yeah. All-star lineup.
And AFI practiced in the basement. So down in this very basement of this, now a frat house, is where AFI not technically began, but pretty much began. I think they were a little bit north of here, then they moved down onto the campus. Davey went to school, and the band continued and kind of blew up from this house. I think there's even a photo here. Yeah, if you look at that little crack right there in the pavement, that's where like Davey's foot was.
Yeah.
And I kind of searched online. I don't know if too many people have even really know about this.
No, I mean...
But the other photo is the one right here, which I'll show that photo too. I think there's a maintenance guy working on the door. Or maybe just someone peeking out to wonder what's going on.
He's definitely working.
But I'll pull up that photo. If it's not here, it might have been over at the neighbor. Supposedly, some of the other guys at other bands lived in the one either next door, either this one or in this one. Every time I think of a frat house, I think of Night of the Creeps. I mean, totally different. So this would be the Zeta, Beta. What would the T stand for? Zeta, Beta would be the 2 Greek. What's the T? Are you up on your Greek?
No, not at all. Tomorrow?
I used to know the Greek alphabet, but it's been a long time since I quoted it. Alpha, Beta, Gamma, Delta, Epsilon, Zeta, Eta, Theta, Iota, Kappa, Lambda, Mu, Nu, Psi, Omega? I think I missed a few. I'm a little rusty, Alex.
I mean, that was really impressive. Yeah, oh my gosh.
Okay, we tried matching this one up. You know, of course, there's obviously they're big into Halloween and pumpkins, so they got the pumpkin there. But this is a promo thing for Nitro. It's not on this tree. I thought it was the same house, but it's not this house from this one. The other photo with a whole group standing there is, but this one, still a mystery. It's up for debate. But who would have thought? I mean, think how many people walk past here a day that have probably no clue that this is the AFI house right here. For years, not just like a short stint, but for years.
Yeah, that kind of blows my mind.
So the basement, obviously, underneath here, probably a good sound concealer though. So when they were practicing, you might not even be able to hear. Someone could be practicing down there right now. Another up-and-coming punk band. Probably, I'm gonna say no.
It might be some house music at this point.
That's true, because this is a house.
It is a house.
All right, moving on to some other spots. East Bay Hardcore. I think them and Screw 32 kind of started that whole thing.
Oh, yeah.
Remember Screw 32?
Yeah.
Great band.
Yeah, I was,
You have a Screw 32 story?
oh, I just remember seeing a,
Fat Records Screw 32.
I remember seeing an ad for them in my old practice space saying they were looking for a room in the Oakland Music Complex years ago.
They probably hung out in here too with the AFI guys.
Oh, I don't doubt it.
They were all buddies. Took about a 1.5 mile commute. There's a bunch of broken cell phones here. It says, please destroy cell phones before entering. I'm not entering in there, but right up here, so thankfully I get to hang on to my cell phone. But I'm gonna continue walking. A little Green Day history. Pretty much the reason I would say 99% of anyone knows the band is because of what happened right here in this very building. This launched their career into the stratosphere. The music video for Longview was filmed behind these very walls right here. And at the time, the band lived in the basement. Obviously a series of apartments, and did not live up top, but they lived in the basement, similar to how AFI was over at the house on the campus. But if you watch the Longview video, the bathroom that they use, that Trey Cool sits on the toilet, that was inside this home when they're all kind of crammed in that small bathroom. Also where they would practice is where they recorded, where they were on stage rocking out in that Longview video. And when Billy Joe destroys the couch and he's watching TV, that was all right inside here. Just talked to one of the residents here, and he didn't even realize the deep history of it as well. He's wearing a municipal waste shirt.
Oh yeah.
So I told him about the AFI. He already knew about the AFI, but he was not familiar with the Longview. He knew it was the Green Day house, but he didn't know that the Longview was in there. But I'm looking at this, and obviously it was filmed with a fisheye lens, as you were just saying, Alex. But if you look over here, the way the angle of the angle of the walls are, very easily could have been the living room that he was like destroying the couch and all. Could have been right there, had that window covered up, because the key off point is this little, the way this kind of arches around.
Yeah.
That's similar to how it is in the video. So probably the bathrooms, it could be the same bathroom.
Probably, yeah. That corner.
Obviously we can't get inside.
Fun fact, I saw Green Day on the Dookie tour twice. I saw them at the station in Fern Park, about 300 people, small venue, and Billy even said at that show, hey, we just got done filming a music video for MTV. There was a lot of middle fingers, a lot of FUs, you're a sellout, things like that. You know, just because in that scene, everyone just kind of gives you, gives you little jabs here and there. All in good fun. No one realized that on that same tour, towards the end of the Dookie tour, or maybe they extended it, 5,000 people sold out at the Edge concert field. So I saw the Dookie tour twice, one with 300 people. You know, no security, stage diving, as up on stage singing, whole, all that, a whole experience, and then different experience on the 5,000 people. And now, 5,000 people playing outside, they probably consider that a failure because they're selling out arenas right and left. It's amazing to think about, right?
Oh, it's kind of mind-boggling.
You love Green Day.
Oh yeah.
I love Green Day. In fact, look at this, Kerplunk, right here.
Right there.
I think Kerplunk's probably, I'd say it's probably my favorite album songwriting-wise, not recording-wise. Dookie's definitely got more impact recording-wise, which I think has a lot to do with their success and progressing and all that. But if you listen to their songs, Kerplunk, 1039 Smooth, which we are going to try to find something from 1039 Smooth, Out Slappy Hours. Are we going to find it today, Alex?
I think we're going to find it.
You think we are? You want to give a hint on what it might be?
No.
Give a hint. There's something right here that could be a hint, Alex.
Some trees? There's
yes.
Maybe it's a black and white sort of thing?
An album cover.
Oh, I can't give that much.
An album cover from, I'm just going to say it's the album cover from 1039 Smooth, Slappy Hours.
Originally released as 39 Smooth.
That's a lot to say. And then they added the two together, a 7-inch and another 7-inch.
Yeah.
Combined it. It was on Lookout Records. Lookout Records went under, and they re-released it on Reprise.
That's right.
This is a lot getting thrown out there.
That's a lot of numbers, a lot of words.
It's a lot of numbers, it's a lot of words. And I would love to be able to go inside here and recreate Trey Cool sitting on the commode. I mean, going from living in this basement to being on MTV and, Nirvana Nevermind paved the way for Green Day Dookie. So those are the two, 91 and 94. Those are the 2 years
that punk broke in the 90s.
Yeah.
That was the 90s era of punk breaking. All right, as we're walking away, I think I found a better angle, and I think I found exactly the window that Billy was like sitting on the couch on the other side, because this window looks more like it. But look at the angle of the wall over here, and then the size of this window is smaller than the one around front, and this is also technically in the basement. So as I pan up, look at this. I think it's that window right there. He's destroying the couch right on the other side of that window, right there. I'm gonna go out 100%. I'm guarantee it's right there, because the front window on the other side does not. It's not as small as that. That's the window.
That's gotta be it. Yeah.
Dang, that's awesome. 2 apartments there. So you might be right, Alex.
Yeah.
That could be the 4 3.5. Got 3 levels, so maybe there's 2 apartments.
Yeah.
We were standing over there, same building, you know, same Green Day house, Green Day Longview house. But this is it right here. Dang, that's cool.
Green white paint on your stuff.
If I was a betting man, I would say that's it right there. I'm putting it out in the universe.
I think you're right.
Also, the closest cross streets to that house is on Deacon and Ashby Ave. Just a few feet away from these cross streets. Made it another mile or 2 away to 3264 Adeline Street, which if you ever purchased any cassette tapes back in the day and then CDs later, look, a lot of the cassette tapes I had for anything on Lookout Records, lots of bands were on that record label that I listened to. Adeline Records was also on this road, named after this road, which Billy Joe and his wife started, since gone defunct. But Lookout Records stood right here where this pizza place now is, at 3264. The front facade has been changed. And to think of how many cassette tapes I ordered that were shipped out of this building. Squirt Gun, Screeching Weasel, Queers.
Avail.
Avail. Oh, the first Avail?
Yeah. Over the James Zone lookout too.
Man. So amazing. And this place is having a big sale.
Huge.
This is very bizarre, very, very bizarre. That these, well, not this bizarre, but that this used to be the one and only Lookout Records here in Berkeley. And from what I can tell, Adeline Records never was on, you know, the road called Adeline. He just used it as the inspiration because it's from this area. But they even have the street sign. It says Adeline. It looks like the Adeline Records, Adeline street sign, but it's Adeline Records. Since defunct. There's some good bands on that label. Mike Dern had his side project was on that record label. Remember any other bands that were on Adeline?
Oh, One Man Army, obviously.
Okay. Trivia time, Alex.
Pinhead Gunpowder.
Pinhead Gunpowder. They were also on Lookout.
Yeah, they were on Lookout.
Carry the Banner. They used to carry the album, Carry the Banner, right inside of here.
They did.
I love Pinhead Gunpowder. They need to get back together and do a tour.
That'd be fun.
All right, walking down Telegraph Avenue now. Reminds me of the Rancid song. They have a song called Telegraph Avenue. Off of the newest album, I believe. Amoeba, this is the first Amoeba. But it appears as if Amoeba is closed today. They have I remember bars being on these windows. It must be closed on Tuesdays. There's an Amoeba in Hollywood I used to live really close to when I lived on Hollywood Boulevard. There's also one in San Francisco. And then there's also the first one here. This is Berkeley, right?
Yeah.
I'm all over the place. I can't remember if it's Berkeley or Oakland. This is Berkeley.
We're Berkeley. We're downtown Berkeley right now.
We're downtown Berkeley. We're doing Berkeley stuff. So you got Berkeley, Oakland, El Cerrito. What are some other areas that are kind of in this general vicinity? Emeryville, which we're going to go to. We're going to go to Emeryville momentarily.
Richmond.
And then Richmond.
Oh yeah, there's Daly City as well.
So the Green Day song Stewart and the Avenue, you gotta find Stewart, because I think the Avenue is Telegraph Avenue.
Makes sense.
I think that's how that is. So we gotta go find I wanna stand on the corner of Stewart and the Avenue. And also looks like Rasputin Music is also closed on Tuesday as well, but they have a pretty neat little display over here dedicated to Gilman Street. You know, the inside of 924 Gilman and all the bands that have played there and the whole reason they exist and all the old flyers. Alex is pointing this out when we walked from where we parked over to down to Amoeba. Fugazi, opening act, The Offspring. Oh, 15, I forgot 15. They're on that Green Day flyer right down there. They were on Lookout as well.
Nuisance as well.
Pretty cool. It was an outside video? Oh, it's the outside of it?
Outside, yeah.
Barrington Hall. They used to have a lot of shows there at Barrington. I never knew about Barrington Hall. Originally located nearby Dwight and Elseword. Now it's a private student housing. Okay, this is like a whole history.
And there's another one, Ruthie's Inn. That's another one.
Okay. Ruthie's Inn. So like, yeah, it's just like a lot of flyers from a lot of the shows here in the East Bay area.
A lot of verbal abuse, a lot of...
Agent Orange there. Oh, there it is. There's the tattoo I have right down there. The girl with the flower on her shirt there. And then you got 15, of course, Op Ivy. Members of Op Ivy went on to be Rancid. All right, got back in the car, drove about a mile, found Stewart Street and the Avenue right up here. Green Day song off of Insomniac, which came out after Dookie and much heavier and faster. And the band pretty much wrote that because a lot of the reviews of Dookie, they wanted to put something out that was more aggressive and fast. And I love that album, Insomniac. And hard to pick a favorite song off of that album. But I would put the opening bass line that Mike Dirnt does from Stewart and the Avenue. I learned how to play it years ago. I just thought it was like so cool how it just kicks right in at the start of the song. But this is Stewart Street right here. And Telegraph Avenue. So freaking cool. I am now standing on the corner of Stewart and the Avenue. So now what happens?
You feel better?
I mean, I'm standing on the corner of Stewart and the Avenue, but what do I do now?
I feel a bit of club sandwich.
I've always wanted to stand here, now I have. I'm walking on this fence line. There's flowers here. And this property here is Pixar. The one and only Pixar. Not going in there, going across the street to the Rudy's Can't Fail Cafe. Evidently there used to be two of these. This is the only one that's left.
Yeah.
And this is Emeryville, correct?
That is correct.
In fact, the Emeryville Civic Center is right here. Look at the town hall. I'm excited. We're gonna maybe get a little bite to eat over there. I'm not even sure what kind of menu they have in here. Probably just sandwiches and whatnot.
It's like your typical American food.
I don't know if I've ever sat at a table that has like, you know, G.I. Joe figures all kind of scattered across through the front there, little action figures. Like it almost looks like they're underwater. And here's the menu here. And this has an affiliation with Green Day as well. Didn't some of the guys in Green Day help open this place or own it for a while? All right, here's the photo here of three of them standing in front of the Rudy's Can't Fail Cafe sign out front. Now we ended up ordering this appetizer of nachos and it showed up at the same time as the food, but we got a lot of food here. I did not realize that the portions were going to be this size. This is a lot of food. All right, my belly is full. Place is pretty good. And I got some free stickers. And talked to the co-owner and said the guys from Green Day own the coffee, Oakland Coffee, but Mike, the bass player, is the only one that co-owns Rudy's. And he said Mike came in a couple weeks ago. It would have been neat if we were chowing down on a meal in there, here next to Pixar, and Mike would have walked in. I think one of the reasons I picked up a bass guitar back in the day was because of Mike Dirnt. He didn't directly get a hold of me and say, hey, you know what, Adam, pick up a bass guitar.
He might have eyed it to you on stage, Jeff.
He may have murmured it down from a Green Day show I went to or two. But just subconsciously, without him knowing, you know, listening to that band for so long, and I always like the style, the way he plays bass. So, I don't know, just a little fun fact. All right, we have traversed over to another area. Now, this property is expansive, and when I say expansive, I mean there is a lot of ground to cover here, and a lot of these trees look almost exactly the same, so it's really hard to pinpoint. And after doing a little research, cannot find the precise location, but the closest, after kind of driving around in here for quite a while, thinking maybe it's over there in the distance. And what I'm referring to is this right down here, the album cover for 1039 Smoothed Out Slappy Hours. You can see she's standing underneath the branches of this tree and kind of looking at the pillar there, just trying to match that up. Not a lot of info floating around the interwebs about where this is located. Someone just drove past us very quickly, which just was not expecting that in here. Now this could be a lost cause, but I've always, since I first saw that album cover, wanted to know exactly where this was. Just got to match up some branches. This is a pretty majestic tree. Looks a lot like it, but not the spot. Again, no confirmation. I'm not 100% confident we're gonna find this, but had to at least try. At least put it out there into the world. If we don't find it, someone else will, which would be awesome. I just want to know where the heck, I didn't want to know where the heck it is. And up at the top of that hill up there is a place they call Millionaire's Row, where a lot of the prominent names around town are laid to rest. And the property just goes way over. I mean, there's just so many areas that look exactly the same as where I'm standing on right now. Another thing we're noticing is there's like some concrete steps, and notice almost these very unusual little pylons here, and the angle of them, kind of like these. There's just enough like notches and stuff like this. And these are not scattered through all the property. They're only in certain areas. So really the key is going to be to match up the limbs, and this has been decades ago. So we walked from over there up to where we're at now. So there's a tree here that looks similar. There's other trees over there. So we'll just traverse through this area. If we don't find it, we did our best. And also AFI did a music video out here for Total Immortal. Up there towards the Millionaire's Row, they were kind of walking down the hill. Where are you, tree? Okay, I just want to point out this angle is really close too, but it's not. The pillar doesn't exactly match up right in the middle of the screen. The tree behind it looks similar. There is no cherub though, so like right there in the middle of the screen, if you match it up to what I showed. Not exact, but that is the closest match. It's not it, but it's pretty dang close. But not it, but that's got me excited for a minute. What a view from up here. Got San Francisco off on the horizon. And then over here, guess that would be Oakland?
Yeah.
Over that way, across the bay.
Yeah.
All the way at the pinnacle of this property. I'll see you in the next video. The vlog is over.